Good afternoon. Welcome to a chat by the revolving door. Now, where's the revolving door? You will soon find it out. Do you like revolving doors, ma'am? Or you like straight doors?
It all depends on who's on the other side.
How about you, sir? Can take on it. So you like revolving doors?
Anything.
Why do people like revolving doors? Any idea? Any thoughts?
It's fun.
It's fun. The child in you spoke.
It's stylish.
It's stylish.
Regulate the edges.
Which is a good thing or a bad thing? Good. Sure. So I think you're all comfortable with the revolving door, right? Friends, first of all, thank you for being here with us on what is otherwise a very hectic weekend. We know we're looking forward to it, being part of it also. Revolving doors are important in democracies, and we know why. And being a true democracy, Toastmasters also have revolving doors, right? When is the next revolving door opening? When is that? May?
May 10th.
Okay. So that is the backdrop to this conversation. By the way, there is nothing official about it. So I'm going to take the liberty of calling you both by first name. But respecting your DTM. So you are DTM Ajantha for me, you are DTM Suganthi for me. I'm playing simple songs.
You can call him. You would have got the DTM.
No, thank you. Right. So let's begin. By the way, all of you are welcome to send in your questions. Mention for whom the question is and don't mention your name, because when I select, don't accuse me of bias. So send in your questions as you think of. We will pick up whatever we can and field the questions. Now, starting off, Ajantha, you're known to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're known to be a very people-centric, nice person. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Is it true that it's more difficult for a nice person to be successful? Though, of course, I must add in the same breath, you have disproved that proposition. What's your take on it?
Well, I would say, take it like this. How I became nice was my job. I started working at the age of 19 in the plantation sector. So from that time I was engaged with people. So I was people friendly. My job became people friendly job. Till I retired years back. So that's how it became people friendly. And also at that time the plantations had to be tough, get your job done. But when I left the plantation, then I came to Colombo to a desk job. I felt miserable. Life was not the same. But that's a different ball game, because that's you are dealing with different types of people, and it was not the same. So you had to change your attitude, and that made me do the change. And the biggest problem I feel is our problem with the ego and attitude. If you drop that attitude, it's very easy to get your job done.
You could chip in with your thoughts on this.
In fact, Toastmasters is teaching all of us the art of ego management. That's my take on it, sir.
Absolutely brilliant. To you, Suganthi, what I want to ask was that if a young Toastmaster were to walk up to you and say that I want to become a district director like him one day, what should they do? And what would you say?
When I started Toastmastering in the year 2010 October, and 3 years later, I met DTM Balraj. And that year, Chennai hosted the Ovation 2013, and he introduces me to the then international director, Deepak Piran, who's now the the first vice president of Toastmasters, and he said, meet one of our future district directors. I thought DTM Balraj was just pulling my legs, because I had a lot of trouble finding judges and role players. I was a contest chair. So I thought he was having a share of fun. I didn't believe it. But then the next year I became an area director, and since then there was no looking back. Sometimes we don't know what is hidden within us. We are actually more powerful in capacity than what we actually think we are. So if somebody just walks up to me and says that I want to be a district director or even somewhere about that, I would say, start now, go ahead, keep marching, but then look back and then do a little bit of retrospection. The world is all for us to conquer.
Has anybody changed the aspirations today listening to her now? Anyway, introspect. To you, a supplementary question. When did you realize that you have it in you yourself to become a district director?
I joined this organization in 2003. When I joined this organization, I was able to speak one-on-one. I couldn't take on anybody one-on-one. But I couldn't speak to an audience. So then, 2004, I was made Sergeant at Arms. From that point onwards, I went step by step. Something told me just what that I was not aspiring to be a district director at all. But when maybe these clubs have problems and they can't begin, they say, put a high jump. I was not one of them who wanted to put a high jump. Because already in my profession or job, I was leading. I just want to take cool and go step by step. And that's where I realized each step you do, you learn something new. And then you have the command of the respect by the others. Respect is something you cannot buy, but earn. And in this Toastmasters journey, I realized when I went to the top, at club level I finished all. So if anybody came to and told me that you can't do this or that, I was able to give an answer to that. Then at the division level also I held 4 positions. I realized this. But each time I went up, I was winning. There were so many opportunities I was told to jump, but I never jumped. Even when I became to the district trio, I did, that time it was known as Lieutenant Governor Marketing, Lieutenant Governor Education. I did that, I was understudy for both those. So I knew what I was before I came to the district trio. And before I came to the district trio, I did ovation. Conference and a district conference, division conference. So I had gone through the whole hog, and I knew exactly if anybody asked me to tell what to do. So that is where I would say to any young person, just don't jump. Go the whole hog. Because there is a saying, what goes up comes down the same way. So it's always better to go step by step rather than doing high jumps.
Sure. With due reference to today's TM Modi, we will amend temporarily the statement and say, we believe in Johnny Walker, who says, keep walking. And as to what you heard from Suganthi, look for a leader who finds something in you and says, you could be a district director. On to, by the way, where are the questions? I have very limited questions. Let's get some questions. Okay, on to another aspect. Suganthi, to you, it's easy to say quantity with quality is the way forward, simply said. But tell me, when responsibilities change, the relative importance we place on quality and quantity will change. If the head of quality were to become the head of the whole organization, how would these two coordinates change?
That was a lovely question. The reason being, when we are a member, we say quality, quality. The moment we become a club officer, be it a vice president membership or an education or a president, we go in for quantity. Till we are a member, we want to be surrounded by what do you call it? A similar kind of membership. Once you become a VP membership, you're like, want some guests to walk in, can't I convert them into a member? So somewhere I think we have to, this is a very fine line, I think, somewhere we have to focus on quality, keeping our focus on quantity also intact. Because if a club cannot have 4 competent communicators at the end of the year, then somewhere I think we are losing a focus towards the Toastmasters educational program. But at the same time, if a club says has about 20, 30 CCs, then definitely I would sit back and take a step back and think, okay, were these all achieved in a genuine manner? And I have visited such a club and had my own findings and stuff like that. So it's always nice to focus on quality and quantity without compromising on either.
Fair enough. But nevertheless, my question was, if one is in charge of quality and if one is overall in charge, do the metrics change between the two?
To me, at the district trio level, it does not change. Because as any organization, as a district, we are also governed by KPIs. And while we run behind those KPIs, we have to be strongly grounded on our quality as well.
You were once CQE, the CQD. Now you are CGD, I'm sorry, the terminology. Now you are the DTM. What's your response to my question?
I always stood by a firm thing, say at any level, even from starting from club, I maintain quality. Quality. We are paying. This is a community club. We are paying $45 for 6 months. If you're not getting, if you can't speak, then it's no point. End of the day, you are just wasting your money. It's no point running behind these people running behind CC. All these are number figures. But if you can't think something, then it's no point. And I always say, our organization is not a number crunching game. That's why I always keep on saying I was happy. 5 DCP points per club. That's more than enough. Some the club to go much as possible, but minimum is 5 DCP, which is very easy to achieve. Out of the 10 points, 4 administration points. And if you get 2 CCs, that is more than enough for us. But what happens if we go behind these numbers, and this number is the one which kills us. And coming from a manufacturing background, we had to go for quality, because manufacturing says to send rubbish that is returned. Same way we are not turning out, we are all human beings. We have to make sure that what we do, what we produce is quality product. Our organization, if you want to sustain, if we don't have quality product, our membership, that's the end of Toastmasters. Another, maybe Rotary or a Lions Club, not maybe, but what I just say. You see what has happened to Rotary and Lions. I know about here, Sri Lanka, you see, if you can go on and you get a Rotary Club or a Lions Club. But what are they doing? Infighting, all these things is of no use. Because there is no quality there.
That's another aspect that India and Sri Lanka, being neighbors, are the same. This question is for Ajantha, but since they are part of the district trio and work in unison, I'm sure you could answer this on behalf of Ajantha. The question is, usually people who go up the ladder are people who do not smile or who are very strict with others. So, what is the secret of your being nice and at the same time reach the top? It's as summarizing what he would say as an answer. Your turn. It's addressed to you, but since you think alike, I'm requesting that.
Okay, we think alike when it comes to the district. Yeah, that's true. But otherwise, each of us are unique. It's very difficult to keep frowning, and all of us are lazy in one way or the other. They say it takes more muscles to frown and less muscles to smile, and I always prefer smiling. So, I mean, when you're happy, when you smile, the other person, whatever mind state they are, they reciprocate with a smile, and that itself changes the environment, the atmosphere around you, and I think that's for better. So I love smiling, and I love people who make me smile.
This you said for your voice, or you said on his behalf?
Both.
I agree.
Because when we are into some trainings or discussions and stuff like that, either he cracks a joke, or I crack a joke, or our CGD cracks a joke to lighten up the moment, and then we again get back into those brainstorming sessions.
Brilliant. This question is for you, Suganthi, but therefore you would answer it. It's easy. It's a neutral question. Who is more strict of the two? To people. Not money. Honest answer.
That's just a difficult question to answer. But it's not about strict or anything, but I believe is in you should be firm in what you say and what you do. I always believe in walk the talk. And again, when I come up from a background of manufacturing, you've got to be nice to people to get your job done. If you're not nice to people, you can't get your job done. And so you've got to be smart, not strict. Yeah, you have to be smart. You have to be smart. You have to be strict. You have to be strict. And if you take people are not machines. If you take each person individually is a different person. Some people you have to put a guard, some people you have to put a tap on the back and forth, some people you have to just nice and speak. So all this is, I would say, is when you come from that manufacturing background, people's this thing, that exposure is there, that's how you can handle it. Like nothing was strict. You have to understand that people are not machines. That's it.
Thank you. I didn't have a chance to give answers because nobody asked me questions. So let me tell you a small little story. An MD of a company stepped down. Don't ask me why. On his retirement day, he gave 3 envelopes. Not in the same company as you're working, but same thing happens in many companies. So he gave 3 envelopes to his successor, numbered 1, 2, and 3, and said, when you get into trouble, pick this out, open up, and read, and you will know what to do. So things went off all right. After a few months, the company was in trouble. So he opened the first envelope. Inside was a post-it here. On that was written, blame your predecessor. So he called a press conference and said that adventurous investments in the past has brought this company into this problematic area, and he talked about what made it. The market bought it up. It was nice. Sounded good. Things took care of themselves, but again, things went bad for him. So the MD pulled out the second envelope, in which was written, constitute a task force, appoint a management consultant. Again, he called a press conference and said that he's going to do this. His deputy will be the head of this committee, and one of the top 3, they came in all their boots, suit, sari, gown, whatever, and they walked away with the order. Things went all right by natural course, nothing to do with them. Again, it fell on bad times, the company fell on bad times. The day of the board meeting, the worst ever results, annual results of the company, history had been announced. The MD opened the third envelope. Inside was written, prepare the 3 envelopes for your success. Now, this is from the dog business sector. But Toastmasters is different. It believes in rights, right? Respect, integrity, service. I know it's afternoon, but I'm not getting a response. Excellence. So, could you tell us what are the typical envelopes bosses in Toastmasters pass on to their successors? Like this, we would have more envelopes.
My this thing is, I always tell, follow the 4 core values in our organization. Automatically things fall in line. It's not in our organization, your workplace, your home, everywhere. So the basic is the 4 core values. You've got to ask yourself whether you are following the 4 core values. That's the answer guy you have to give. And for what you say, I would like to chip into that what you just spoke about. Today, what has happened in the entire world, CEOs are coming very fast. 35, some 30, 35, 40, they are coming. Coming with fancy qualifications. But do they have people's skills? That is what you should be asking. At 35, 40, when you become a CEO, he just gets stressed out because he doesn't have people's skills. Sometime back, if I talk 15, 20 years back, some of your seniors who are here, all CEOs are over 50 years. Am I correct?
Yes.
They were able to handle people.
They have to have gray hair or no hair.
Yes. So they were able to handle people because their experience was there. At 30, 35, can you handle people? That's the biggest problem. That's why all these companies, big companies, crash. So it's a people's skill. People are not machines. So you have to be, this is the entire world is facing today.
I'm a chip in, sir.
If you also take one step further, today Gone are the days. Those days we used to do a contract. When you take a contract, you never sign. Handshake, eyeball to eyeball, and the job was done. But today, any small contract, anything, you want to sign, and then you still go to courts and arbitrary and all these things. So what has happened? So you can no point blaming anybody else. It is us to be blamed. Youngsters who are coming, qualification is not only the thing. You need to be street smart as well. I don't know about here, Sri Lanka, if you take qualified people, sometimes are failure. And the worst is the commerce graduates. Any private organization doesn't want to touch Sri Lanka. I'm not talking about India. Any private organization will not touch a commerce graduate or arts graduate because they know that is that's downfall of the organization. Their mentality is different. I would say like a terrorist mentality. That's the style there is. No organization, private sector, big organization touch them. What they do is they want to come in as a laborer's job and then come out. But if they know even a laborer's job, they don't want to give because of their mentality. I know how it's here.
Maybe you could chip in from the IT sector, what Ajantha talked about the manufacturing sector. It's mirroring that. What do you think about the age and the competency linkages? Is it different in the case of IT?
Definitely, it is very much different. And like in Toastmasters, in work also, my boss is almost double my age. So at times, we meet clients. No, at times we meet clients who are just in their very early 30s, but then who are CSOs and who have that authority to whether to give you that particular business bid or to give it to another competitor. So I think being in an IT sector, I have learned to put that age aside and think what information either I could give them in order to get the proposal through, or what I can learn from the others. I think in Toastmasters also we have a blend of young people, senior by age, senior by experience, and we all gel really very, very well without any kind of ego. So I think over a period of time, learning to respect the other, the sensitivity involves, comes to you whether you're junior, senior, doesn't matter, it has to come from within. Respect the other should come from within. I've seen people who are quite old, but they're always very, very harsh to young people. They scold all the time. They put one book this side or other side. I've seen my neighbors. I have a neighbor who literally yells at his granddaughter every morning, and sometimes when I'm fast asleep, I get this yelling and I get up. But then that young girl, she says sorry Tata, and she gets off and ready to go to school. So I think it's a bitter person. Inside it comes from within.
Great. We want to give a rebuttal for that nice word she gave. You are a kind person. Conform to your image and not Mr. Dodge.
He is. That is why in all the photos you see is smiling. We don't pose for photographs.
Great friends, like all good things, this session also has to come to a close. All I want to say was that, did you realize something? Did you imagine that here were the two most important officials of District 8, and we were questioning them. Also realized that there were two distinguished Toastmasters being questioned by an undistinguished one. How much more democratic can we get? Let's give